The city had begun to exhale the day's heat, trading it for a cool evening breeze that drifted through the narrow streets of Lamera like a whispered secret. Neon signs flickered to life one by one, each pulse of light painting the sidewalks in shifting colors. Somewhere far off, music bled from an open bar door, laughter spilling out into the night. But for Keila, the world was muted, as if someone had turned the volume down on everything except the sound of her own heartbeat. She walked with purpose, though her feet didn't entirely trust the path. The familiar scent of rain on old stone clung to the air, mixing with the faint perfume she dabbed on hours ago, a scent that now felt like armor. In her mind, every step was a negotiation between courage and caution. Zire was already there when she arrived, leaning against the hood of a black sedan parked under a lone street lamp. The light wrapped around him like a cinematic frame, turning every sharp angle of his jaw, every shadow along his cheekbones, into something dangerously magnetic. His leather jacket hung open, revealing a charcoal shirt that clung to the lean muscle beneath. His gaze found her instantly, sharp but unreadable, as though trying to decide whether to pull her in or push her away. They stood there for a moment, no words, only the static-filled silence that comes before a storm neither of them could control. The air between them wasn't empty. It was thick with all the almost confessions, the nearly brushed lips, the countless times they'd walked away when they wanted to stay. Keila's eyes traced him, not with casual curiosity, but with the hunger of someone memorizing a face for the last time. She told herself this was just another chapter closing, but something deep inside whispered that it was more, that every decision from here would leave a mark. Zaya's voice, when it finally came, was low enough to be stolen by the breeze.
Keila. Are you sure about this?
Her breath caught, because the question wasn't really about tonight. It was about everything. The streetlight hummed softly above them. A distant car horn cut through the quiet. Somewhere inside her chest, her heart tilted toward him, daring her to take that final step forward. She did. The space between them vanished in less than a heartbeat, and in that instant, the city around them disappeared, no neon lights, no wet cobblestones, no voices from passing strangers. Only the sound of two people colliding with something they had spent far too long resisting. It wasn't a fairy tale kiss. It was slow, deliberate, full of all the things they had tried to bury. Her fingers curled into the collar of his jacket. His hands found her waist like they had always belonged there. And then, they broke apart, breathless, eyes locked. Not because the moment was over, but because they both knew it was only the beginning. Keila turned slightly, glancing down the street as if to remind herself there was still a world out there waiting for her. Zire stayed still, watching her like she was a secret he'd just been given permission to keep. The night swallowed the rest of their words, but their eyes promised more than either was ready to say out loud. Under the dim glow of that lone street lamp, they stood, two people who had finally stepped off the edge.